thought you said Jubilee roll. You just blew my pants if you did.
Oh my gosh.
Something. I can't say. What are you watching? I'm watching the Podcastle's 5th annual Pop
Listen to the Podcastle.
Hey, yeah.
Let me get your candy corn on something.
Oh, yes.
Do you watch horror movies outside of October, or do you not even watch horror movies? I know we've talked about Friday the 13th in the past, or we've cataloged that library like a Somalian dick. Doesn't make sense. But do you ever watch horror movies? Do you and Haya? By the way, happy anniversary. Happy 3rd anniversary.
Somalian dick.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Castle Rock lately. There's a lot of Somalians in it.
Really?
Yeah, it is odd. What's your pumpkin pie on that?
I see, my relationship with horror movies is strange because I used to be really, really into them. You know, like
Yeah, of course.
I would go to the movies and see horror movies. And then it got to a point where I went through 2 different stages. The first one was I was like, okay, nothing is scary enough. After Saw, you know how it was like a psychological thriller, that
Right.
kind of raised the bar so high where I was like, no one's really going to make anything that good for a while. Then now I'm in a stage where I don't want to get scared.
Right, I'm with you.
I don't enjoy being afraid anymore.
I'm the same as you. I'm in that weird thing where I don't want to get scared and be afraid because movies are a lot scarier. So I'll only watch horror movies that don't scare me. But if you think about it, that just sucks because it's like, why are you watching it? It's not like funny.
Yeah, like I wish there was a horror movie that took its time getting scary. You know, when it's kind of all happy and joyful and perfect family in like the first like 5 minutes and then everything goes south. I
Right.
wish they extended that a little longer.
I do too.
Actually, the most recent horror movie I've seen, which was fucking crazy, and I watched a terrible bootleg version of it, is Us.
Oh, I saw that. Really good. Really good. What do you mean terrible
Really-
bootleg? Like quality-wise, it was bad?
It was like it was like Costanza did it. Like it was like a handheld camera or a phone. So it was like a really bad bootleg, like in a theater bootleg.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
still watched it and I still loved it.
yeah. It's really good. I enjoyed it. I like Jordan Peele a lot. He's an innovator. He really is. But yeah, with the horror movies, Halloween has dawned.
Sorry.
8:23. We have a situation. We have a black male, 50s.
Sorry, Heather is so
black.
loud.
Babe.
But yeah, horror movies. I've fallen off. Since it is October and I'm a big fan of Halloween, I contemplated, I should watch a scary movie.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to get into the spirit
Yeah. Give it a
of the
chance.
holiday, and I ended up just watching The Office. You know, I don't want to get scared because it's like you have to mentally and physically prepare to be on edge for 2 straight hours, even though you're not moving.
You do.
It's exhausting.
I try to do the same thing, but then I make excuses for myself because I'm like, it's Halloween, it's October. It's like I want to watch scary movies. I want to get in the mood, but it's not the same as Thanksgiving or Christmas where you can watch a movie and you feel good. It like takes a
Right.
lot out of you because it's like
Right.
depressing and you're lonely and sad. It's not like you can only watch so many horror movies. So I've been watching Castle Rock because I love the show, and I think the new
What's it
season
on,
is
Hulu?
great. It's a Hulu Enterprise.
All right.
And I really enjoy it because it's like a good story. It's not scary. Those kind of shows don't really scare me. They're just more like thrilling.
Right.
Like there's some
They're
creepy moments, but it's not-
mystery.
right. So I was like, I want to get in the mood and watch Halloween movies, but I just don't want to. I'm the same as you. I don't want to get scared, so I just find
It's so
excuses not to. It's like, oh well, Forrest Gump is on. Like, how can I not watch this? Or the other night it was like, Mrs. Doubtfire streaming.
Oh my
But-
God.
But all the streaming networks make it so easy to watch horror movies because there's like Huluween And
right, everyone does their own special.
they do their own special where they just load them up, and you're like, yeah, okay, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, what's your favorite horror movie? I know we did a list of like our top 5 or top 10 horror movies, I think.
Well, I guess my favorite is The Shining because it's just like a good film.
Yeah.
But that's not a movie you can watch a lot. I mean, that's like a really disturbing.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's like the Joker. It's like it's exhausting because they're all so scary or like, just they evoke an emotion other than joy. So it can be like an emotional state that you're stuck in. And that's such a crazy kind. It's got to be old age. Like, why else? It's not that we're really scared. It's just the suspense is exhausting.
Right. And I don't want to have I don't need to put myself through that.
No.
But with The Shining, there's so many references and like subliminal stuff that just messes with your mind. It's like you're tired when it's done, but not in a good way. Not like, oh, it was great. It was just like, I feel weird.
That movie, I watched that movie for the first time. I was way too young and I didn't get it.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And then it kind of got like half ruined because I already knew the ending and I know what happened. I just didn't really get it.
Yeah, it's a lot to dig. I think Halloween, the original, is probably one of my favorites, just because it's simple, the music's good, it was like revolutionary at the time. It's Jamie Lee Curtis, like it's kind of a good ride.
I can't remember what my top 10 was. I'm gonna have to go back to the past Halloween shows and dig it up.
Yeah,
because I can't think of it right now. Favorite horror movie?
Friday the 13th, or like I wanted them to be up there, but they're all so bad that they're just like kind of fun,
Oh, I think Saw is my favorite. I think
Saw
that's
is
my
good.
favorite because that movie, for the first time in my life, I was jaw dropped at the end. I was like,
oh, right, the Croatoan.
And
Roanoke reference.
And I like 28 Days Later. I heard there is a 28 Weeks Later. I've never seen it. Like, apparently they're doing 28 months later. Like they're doing a third one.
Yeah, I like 28. I like 28 Weeks Later. I thought it was shot a little bit better, and it was more NATO came in to repopulate England. It was kind of cool. But 28 Days Later was awesome. That changed the game because before that, zombies were all slow. Because this is before like Walking Dead or anything, and then all of a sudden they're a rage virus just going nuts, and you're like, Danny Boyle
like
just
rabid zombies. They were like rabid zombies, and if their blood touched you, it wasn't if they bit you. I mean, obviously if they bite you, but even if their blood touches you, you're fucked, and it hits you like right away.
Yeah, it was spread like Ebola would, where just like an open wound or something, it would just get you.
Yeah,
and it was crazy. But yeah, I've been reading that for a couple of years, like 28 months later, where it's like the whole world.
Yeah,
it would be cool. Did you like those movies? 28 Days Later,
dude. I think the first one, which I get it now, it was probably shot with a cheaper budget, and then it was so successful. The sequel got like an extra $100 million to produce the thing.
Oh yeah.
I have that one in like my top 3. The first one, it was so good. See, that's the difference. You can be scary every 5 seconds, but it's just a bullshit movie. That movie was interesting. Like, obviously, it's just typical zombie apocalypse, but I don't know, the way that they told that story, their version of the zombie story, I thought it was really good. The acting was really awesome.
Oh yeah, it was great.
And I haven't seen the sequel yet, so I probably should dig that up. But again, I don't want to get stressed out.
Yeah, the sequel I think you'll like, because it's kind of actiony. It has Jeremy Renner in it as like a Marine sniper.
Ooh, Hawkeye.
Yeah,
nice.
and it's basically like if NATO went in to repopulate England. There's like it's like a military sector movie.
Weird. I like that part. I like the part of the story that's about like either breaking down our society all over the world or like trying to rebuild it.
Same here.
What that would look like.
That's why I love Stephen King's The Stand. The miniseries, while it's like dated visually to a degree, it still holds up really well because it's about The Stand is a Stephen King book, and it's about a virus that gets loose from a military installation. Some guy escapes and spreads it to the whole world, and like 99% of the world dies. But they show the breakdown of society, of like how the government's lying to everyone, like there's no virus, and you just see like bodies piling up, and you just see like the breakdown of how things work, and it's really interesting.
Steal shit from the White House. I would I would take the most valuable things, but who the fuck knows what would be valuable in an apocalypse other than water and guns?
That's it. Yeah, water's like the new oil in an apocalypse.
It's got. What did they say at the end of The Big Short? Invest in water and seeds.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Makes total sense.
Truly, seeds and water and precious metals. Like,
Welcome to the Halloween show.
Halloween extravaganza. It's like I think it was T.S. Eliot, I could be wrong, said, I don't know how the Third World War will be fought, but I know how the fourth one will be fought, with sticks and stones. And it's like, oh, yes.
Right, that's so true.
It's the Halloween extravaganza. John is dressing up
bones.
as one of the Planet of the Apes tomorrow. That's not accurate. What, you're doing Batman for Halloween this year?
Every year I'm Batman. If you go back and look, I'm Batman every year, because if you have a mask and you can be Batman or somebody else, you always choose Batman. Hannah's going to be Batgirl, and I actually upgraded my costume from just a normal Batman t-shirt to a different Batman t-shirt.
Ooh, regular Piggly Wiggly, Crickly Crackle Barrel. Have you ever heard Adam Sandler talk about the time Michael Keaton hosted Saturday Night Live and they went out to dinner afterwards?
No.
It was really funny. Sandler was talking about, he's like, this was on some talk show too. It had nothing to, it wasn't even like back then. It was recent. But Sandler is at that point where he just kind of rambles about whatever he wants when he's on talk shows, which I like. He's not like, so this movie's coming out, and he's like, yeah, I was at the beach the other day, and we're talking, and he's just at that point in his career where he's like, I'm making money, I'm just having fun. Yeah. So he was talking about, he's like, Michael Keaton hosted Saturday Night Live right after, Batman Returns in the early 90s. And what we did then was take the guest out, the guest host out for dinner. Like, the cast all went out, we all got drinks and had food. And at the end, Saturday Night Live always picked up the tab, but Michael Keaton said, I got this one. And Sandler said, no, like, well, this is what we do. We got this. It's no problem. And Keaton was like, no, I want to do it. And Sandler was like, it's kind of our tradition. And Keaton just grabbed the bill and went, I'm Batman. and Sandler was like, okay, yeah, no, you're going to pay for it. Thank you, But he was so adamant about paying. He's like, I'm Batman. Like, in the voice. He did it in, like, the voice. He's like, I'm Batman. And you're like, okay, yeah, how can you really argue with that?
I'm Bruce Wayne, motherfucker.
Batman wants to pay for it. I wouldn't be able to separate the man from the character if I met one of the guys that play Batman. Unless it were like Ben Affleck, because I'd be like, hey, you want to grab a beer? And you're trying to stay sober. But if you met one of those guys and they were like, I'm Bruce Wayne, you'd be like, yes, you are. Yes, you are. What can I do for you?
Well, see, that would be true if Michael Keaton wasn't such an amazing actor and portray the villain Vulture in the Spider-Man Spider-Man Homecoming. The first Tom Holland Spider-Man. He plays the villain, and he's fucking evil as shit.
He's great.
And he kind of catches Peter Parker. He figures out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man while he's driving his daughter and Peter Parker to like the prom or whatever. And he figures it out like on the drive there. And at one point and when he drops them off, he lets the girl go in first. And he turns around and starts telling Peter, with a gun in his hand pointed right at him, if you fuck with me, if you get in my way, I'll kill you and your family. And it was like, whoa, this is like a Spider-Man movie, and Michael Keaton's just crushing anything he does.
He does. He's a tremendous actor.
So if I saw him, I wouldn't think he was Batman. I would think he was Vulture, and I'd be a little afraid.
Or Birdman, and he flies off your building.
Right. Isn't it funny? All of his
I love it.
Huge roles have been winged creatures.
What's your favorite Keaton role besides Batman? Or maybe it's not Batman. For me, it's Batman. He's the best. But besides Batman, like, which is it? Is it Vulture? Like your favorite role that he's played out of everything?
Beetlejuice is pretty amazing.
I would go with Beetlejuice.
He's so good in that Spider-Man movie, man. Like he like makes it matter more.
Yeah, he carries that role to like a level that I couldn't picture somebody else doing. He's such a good actor. I remember as a kid, I liked the movie Beetlejuice, like as a little kid, like as an 8 or 9-year-old, and I liked Batman, and I didn't know it was the same actor, and I was like reading the back of the VCR, and I was like, Michael Keaton. I was like, that's Batman is Beetlejuice. Like it blew my mind because they look nothing alike, and he does that voice where he's just like, "What again? Now he's fine. Now he's fine. We're gonna, whatever. Okay." Now, and then I'm like, oh my god, what an amazing man.
I know. I was like, wait a second. The same guy is Beetlejuice, is Batman, and is Bruce Wayne. That's all the same actor?
Right. It's like Mr. Freeze and Kindergarten Cop. Like you couldn't believe they were the same actor. No, you can't.
That's a good topic. Like where you were like, wait a minute, that's so and so from another movie where like they radically changed themselves.
I can do it.
Keaton is in another one where it's like there's 3 movies where he looks nothing alike in any of them.
Multiplicity.
No, you can tell.
I got one for you. Billy Crystal, The Princess Bride.
Oh God, yeah, that's a classic.
Or
Dan Aykroyd
in Nothing But Trouble.
Nothing But Trouble, right?
Which is a terrible movie.
Ugh,
it's so bad. It has like 2% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has this great cast, but it was like the only movie Chevy Chase directed. He was like, I'm done after this. I'm not directing shit. That kind of killed his career after that for a while.
It was like that era's Mars Attacks. It was like this huge cast, and like nothing happened.
Nothing. It was so bad. John Candy was like a dog, and a girl in there. It was so weird. But yeah, other movies like that where you're like, is that the same actor?
I'm trying to think.
Tom Cruise has been in some, I know.
Oh, dude, when I found out Big Boy Caprice was the Godfather, well, the
there
Avengers.
You go.
That blew me away.
Perfect. Yeah, Al Pacino. Even to this day, when you watch Dick Tracy, you're like, I kind of think it's Pacino, but it really looks nothing like him except for like the hair and the whole prosthetics were weird.
And he's never like, like he's always yelling. Like he's always shouting. Like Big Boy is always talking. Mostly loudly in that movie. So it kind of disguises Pacino's voice even more.
Yeah.
I love his eyes are even weird.
It's all beady. I love when Pacino like yells in movies where it's like, "Oh, Bobby!" "Oh, right in the crackers." "Oh, Bobby!" "John, now, I can't say what you had for breakfast. I really can't. But Hannah deserves some more meat!" I just love when he does that.
"Oh, Bobby!"
"Oh, Bobby!" That's a clip. I'll isolate that clip.
Yes.
Welcome to another edition of What? Starring Biscardi. Latest post in the thread.
Oh, yeah.
He said, let me know when you're home, I'll pod you in. And he said, Candy, a bot.
Candy, bot a ripoff.
Oh, Candy, what a ripoff. He's probably texting.
What?
He's probably texting, talking to text.
Candy, but not a ripoff. It really is. Oh. What?
Not a ripoff. I think he had probably had to stop and buy candy for all the little dicker treaters tomorrow.
Dude, I had to buy candy last night. I had to go to Target, and you have to go on this like special message board Reddit type thing to find out where to buy candy inside Target so you don't get ripped off. Like you don't go to the normal candy section.
You go to
There's
the
like
Halloween
a separate Halloween section in like the basement.
Yeah, it's crazy. I bought
Where they
Halloween
have
candy.
sacks of Halloween candy.
I bought Halloween
beanbags.
candy at the dollar store where they had sex in the store, not sacks. It was weird.
Oh
It
my
was a bunch of,
gosh.
no, but
Oh.
I had to buy the candy because
Oh
you
my-
got to give it out, and
Yeah.
it's such a weird thing to buy candy to me because I'm still used to as a kid like just going out trick or treating. I'm still not that mindset where it's like I'm giving out candy, and I want to be cool, so I buy like good shit. I don't want to be that house that's like, here's a pencil
Right.
and a
Yeah.
junior mint.
I know.
I
Right.
want to. I buy candy bars. I'm like, here you go. You're getting like
Yeah.
a lot of shit. That's
A
cool.
vast array of selection, but good selection. I don't want a fucking box of raisins.
No.
I don't want a peanut, and not a marshmallow peanut. Those are fine. I like those. People hate those, but I love them. An actual peanut, like you get
Oh,
at a
yeah.
ball game. Don't fucking put that in my pillowcase.
No, I don't want that at all.
How dare
What
you?
what is the candy that's always left over after every Halloween that like nobody eats?
Oh, that's a good one. Jolly Ranchers.
Jolly Ranchers are up there. I think it's anything fruit is typically
Yeah,
left, like even
anything
fruit flavored.
based. Those old, like, I can't even remember what they're called. Bitter nut, or there you are. I thought there was something wrong with my screen this whole time. You were
Oh.
black-faced.
Let me not a racist moment.
No. Oh, and there's even more.
The
Your graces, no.
the 10 worst Halloween candies according to a Reuters poll. Not actually Reuters.
Oh, great.
Now the list. John loves a good list. But there's one I'm thinking of.
Hey, Jen.
There's one that Jen, everyone says hi. There's one I'm thinking of. Licorice. I think anything licorice is always left behind. Good and Plenty's are really shitty.
Well, wait, Good and Plenty, are they the purple and white?
Yeah.
I like those. They're not a leftover. They're not in the leftover category for me.
Good and Plenty.
Yeah,
I
I like the
think-
crunch and then the chewy.
Yeah, no, they're okay. I like Mike and Ike's. It's kind of the same consist. I think the world is split down the middle when it comes to candy corn. People either hate it and think it's vile, or they love
my
it.
gosh.
See, I love candy corn. I'm not going to eat a lot of it because it's just sugar to your head. But like, I think candy corn is like a nice seasonal Halloween treat.
If they didn't give me, fat in one specific area centered in my body, mainly my belly,
Right.
I would eat pounds of candy corn. It's basically just chewy
Yeah, see?
sugar that
Yeah.
dissolves into nothing, and then you have more. And I like the pumpkins, the big, huge pumpkins.
Yes.
That's like when you're feeling really wild.
I need a sack. I need a condom. Because I just blew all over my pants by thinking about them.
It's
What?
tissue paper. But I got the mainstays, the Snickers, the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, the Kit Kat, the Milky Way, the Three Musketeers, the Crunch, the M&Ms, the Skittles, the Nerds, the Smarties, and I'm probably leaving out a couple. But then I got a whole separate bag of 100 Reese's Peanut Butter Cup and Kit Kats,
Ooh.
which are the top two candies on Halloween,
I'm on
according
board.
to Jones's Dictionary.
I'm on board for that potato salad. Jones's Dictionary?
Yep, that's what I reference for candy facts.
Is that
That's what I'm
true?
gonna start doing, just fake references. 'Cause
Jones-
nobody listens.
No,
As long
you
as you
should.
give reference.
We don't do that to the president. We might as well just start making shit up.
Well,
Who's going to call us out?
If he's
Jones's Dictionary. Tonight's show sponsored by Jones's Dictionary. Look up some facts and repeat.
what's happening?
Biscardi's here. I'm trying to pot him in right now.
Oh.
There he is. It's the big guy.
I don't know what to say. I'm a broken man. You can thank money-taking agency.
Well, I think you're broke because what we're talking about right now, Michael, is the best and worst Halloween candies, and I think you I'm going to go out on a limb here, but I think you were buying some Halloween candy tonight for all the little dick-or-treaters tomorrow.